Pizza delivery people, tell me what unusual or strange things have happened to you. Alright, buckle up, because this is the wildest night I ever had delivering pizza, and I've been doing this job for almost 4 years now. I was working the Friday night shift, full moon because of course it was, and everything was going fine until I got this order for a medium meat lovers, extra crispy crust, and a 2-liter Mountain Dew. Nothing unusual, except the delivery address was for 117 Birch Street. And if you live in my town, you know that house is straight up cursed. I'm not even kidding. No one's lived there in like 10 years. It's one of those places where people say lights turn on at night, but the power's been cut for ages. The kind of house teenagers dare each other to break into on Halloween. So obviously, I triple-checked the receipt, called the number on the order, and this weird monotone voice just says, yes. Birch Street. Side door, and hangs up. I should have bailed. I knew I should have. But I was behind on rent and needed the tips, so I drove out there. The whole block was dark and dead quiet, except for this one flickering street lamp right in front of the house. It looked even worse up close, boarded up windows, paint peeling off the sides, overgrown yard. The only thing not decaying was the mailbox, which was shiny and new. No name, just the number 117. I walked up the driveway, pizza box in one hand, flashlight in the other, and sure enough, the side door was wide open. Just cracked open like someone was waiting. I shouted hello, and got nothing back but the echo of my own voice. And I swear, I almost left the pizza on the porch and bailed, but then I heard it, footsteps, coming down the stairs inside. Slow and heavy, like someone wearing boots. I backed up a little, heart going nuts in my chest, and then the door creaked open just a bit more. A hand reached out, thin, pale, veiny, and dropped a crisp $50 bill into the pizza box. No eye contact. No words. Just the hand, and then the door slammed shut in my face. I stood there frozen for maybe 5 seconds before I turned and booked it back to my car. Didn't even count the money until I got back to the shop. Here's the kicker though, and this is why I'll never forget that night. The bill was fake. But not like a bad counterfeit. I mean old. Like Civil War old. $50 from the 1800s. Real paper, real ink, real ancient. I showed it to my manager, and he legit took it to a collector the next day. Turns out it was worth over $1,200. Never got another order from that house. But a week later, someone taped a single dollar bill, also antique, to our front window with a note that just said, "Thanks for being on time."
Dude, that is some straight-up haunting of Hill House meets Antiques Roadshow energy. I used to deliver too and got creeped out by old ladies who wanted to chat for 20 minutes about their cats. This is next level. I'd have noped out of there the second the door creaked. Also, keep that bill. If it happens again, maybe you're on the ghost payroll now.
Bro, what the hell? Nope. All the way nope.
Alright, so after the creepy Birch Street encounter, I figured things would settle down. Maybe I'd just been working too much, or I was still on edge from the whole experience. But no, the universe wasn't done playing its hand. About a week later, I get another late-night delivery. This time it's for the Old Town Diner. Now, I've been delivering here for a long time, and while the food's great, this place has its own vibe, you know? It's one of those diners that never seems to close. Like, ever. I've driven past it at 3 a.m., and the lights are always on, the parking lot always half full. It's strange, but it's familiar, so I didn't think much of it. But this delivery, it felt different. I pull up, and as usual, the parking lot's packed. But here's the thing, none of the cars are running. I mean, you'd think people would be eating, right? But no one's moving. No one's coming or going. It's as if they're all frozen in time. I get out of my car, pizza box in hand, and notice the door's locked. Weird, because the diner never locks its doors. Ever. I knock. Nothing. I knock harder. Finally, the door creaks open a little, and there's this woman standing there, staring at me. Not moving, just staring. She's wearing an apron, but there's something wrong about her. She looks like she hasn't slept in days, and her eyes are wide, like she's been awake for far too long. "Are you okay?" I ask, but she doesn't respond. She just reaches out and takes the pizza from me without saying a word. She doesn't even seem to notice the cash I'm holding out. She just stands there, expressionless, and shuts the door before I can even blink. I turn around, kinda freaked out, and as I'm walking back to my car, I hear something. It's a voice. It's coming from inside, muffled, like it's coming through the walls. Then I hear a door creak open. I turn around, and for a split second, I see the entire diner, packed with people, sitting in silence. It's like a scene from a movie. But the freakiest part? Every person there is staring at me. Silent. Motionless. I got the hell out of there as fast as I could. When I got back to the shop, I told my manager about it, and she gave me this weird look. She said, "Don't worry about it. The diner's been closed for years." I swear to God, I could hear the sound of plates clinking and people talking in my head for the rest of the night.
What in the Twilight Zone is going on with you? I'd be straight up quitting if I had to deliver to that place. No joke. You're telling me the diner has been closed for years and you still got an order there? Bro, I can't deal with this. Tell me you didn't go back for that tip.
Yo, I'd never go back to that place, man. Something's seriously wrong with it. If it were me, IDV called the cops, just to be sure you weren't walking into some sort of paranormal trap.
Okay, so after the diner, I honestly thought that maybe, just maybe, I had worked too many nights in a row. But the universe clearly had other plans, because the very next night, something even crazier happened. I was out on a regular delivery route, nothing special. It was around 10:30 p.m., and I was heading to Maple Grove, a neighborhood that's usually pretty quiet. I pull up to this house, big, kinda old, the kind that looks a little rundown but in a charming way, you know? The lights were on inside, and it seemed like a typical order for a Thursday night, so I grabbed the pizza and rang the doorbell. Nothing. I knocked. Still nothing. Now I'm no rookie, so I check my phone to make sure it's the right address. Everything checks out, but still, nothing. I stand there for a good 5 minutes, debating whether I should just leave the pizza on the porch and get the tip or actually wait it out. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I see something. A car pulls up. A sleek black sedan that looks way out of place in the neighborhood. The thing was polished. I'm talking mirror finish here. The kind of car you'd expect in a high-end neighborhood, not Maple Grove. I watch as the car slowly comes to a stop, and this guy in a sharp suit gets out. He's looking around nervously, almost like he's expecting someone. His eyes meet mine for a split second, and then without a word, he walks past me, head straight to the door. I stand there, confused but not one to just stand around. I call out, "Hey, I've got the pizza for you." But the guy doesn't stop. He keeps walking, like he didn't hear me at all. I stand there for a moment, like, what the hell is going on? And then I hear it, he's knocking on the door. He knocks twice, waits for a moment, and then, he disappears. Like, gone. 1 second, he's standing right there, knocking on the door, and the next, poof. Like he stepped into thin air. I swear I stood there for a full minute, trying to process what just happened. No trace of him. No car. No nothing. The street was completely silent again, like nothing had even happened. I had to blink a few times to make sure I wasn't imagining it. I left the pizza on the porch, ran back to my car, and got the hell out of there. Later that night, I double-checked the address again. It wasn't a glitch. That house was real. But the number? It was wrong. It didn't exist on any maps, and when I asked around, nobody remembered a black sedan ever parking there. I've been in this job a long time, but that, I couldn't explain. I'm still not sure what happened. All I know is, that was one delivery I'll never forget.
Wait, you just let that go? Nah, bro. You should have at least checked the car for any signs of life or something. Maybe it was a prank, maybe it was something paranormal, but I'm telling you, you should have called the cops. A guy in a suit just poofed away? That's not normal. Man, bruh, there's no way. I would have been in full sprint back to my car. You might have gotten an invite to something you don't want to be part of. Keep that pizza tip in your pocket next time.
Alright, here we go. I've been debating whether or not to share this one, but I've got to get it off my chest. I never believed in anything supernatural before all this, but after that night, I'm starting to wonder if there's more to this job than just delivering pizza. It all started with a phone call. I was on the last delivery of the night, just wrapping up when the shop phone rings. It's a little weird because most of our orders are online now, and no one calls in. But this one was different. I pick up. The voice on the other end is barely audible. It's a whisper, and it sounds strained, almost like it's coming from far away. "Pizza," the voice croaks. "I need a pizza." Now, I've taken a lot of orders in my time, but this sounded off. The voice was shaky, like they hadn't spoken in days. And the address? Birch Street. For a second, I froze. My brain flashed back to that house. The one that had haunted me since that first delivery. I wasn't sure if I should hang up or just ignore it. But of course, I didn't. I took the order, told them the price, and said I'd be on my way. I don't know what it was, but something pushed me to do it. When I pulled up to Birch Street, I felt a shiver go down my spine. It was late, around 1:30 a.m., and the street looked completely empty. The wind was howling, and it made the trees look like twisted silhouettes in the dark. I parked, grabbed the pizza, and this time, I went straight for the front door, no hesitation. As I walked up the steps, the same thing happened. The door creaked open before I even rang the bell. This time, I didn't see the hand. No one reached out to take the pizza. The hallway was pitch black. I stood there for a second, not sure what to do. Then, click. The lights turned on, flickering, then steady. I saw the figure standing in the doorway, wearing a long coat. The voice from the phone. She looked the same as the woman I saw before, but older. Her face was pale, almost ghostly. Without saying a word, she just reached out, took the pizza from my hands, and closed the door in my face. I didn't stick around. I got back in my car as fast as I could and sped back to the shop. But as I drove, I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The air around me felt too quiet. It was like the world had stopped for a second, and all I could hear was the sound of my own breathing. When I got back to the shop, I checked my phone and saw that I had missed a call from the same number that had placed the order. I didn't call back. I don't think I ever will.
Bro, you're telling me you've been back to Birch Street twice? At this point, I would have changed my route entirely. Nah, man, that's straight up paranormal. Either someone's messing with you, or you're dealing with something way bigger than pizza delivery. I think it's time to tell your boss about the curse house.
WTF? What kind of job do you have? That's straight up movie material. If I were you, I'd be sleeping with the lights on. Also, how the hell are they getting pizza from a closed house? Something is off, dude.
Food delivery guys, tell your stories from your life as a delivery guy, share with us, and maybe your story will make it into the next video.